going over the books? We're paying him Anthony Soprano, second highest salary in the company.
He's a consultant.
Where do I reach him? I want to make some changes, but his office is full of junk. There's a 55 horse Johnson Outboard on the desk. Looks like nobody's ever there.
He's in the hospital. You should talk to his colleague, Mr. Galtieri.
Ollie? Oh, Tony Soprano, of course. I knew him when I was a kid. He was a friend of the family.
I'm having surgery tomorrow. I'm not supposed to eat. You fucking believe this? Well, we shouldn't.
So anyway, she was crying the entire night, and I didn't get any sleep.
Why don't you ride in the fucking Zephyrs and sleep on a cloud?
What? You think I put that up there? I didn't.
Right. Who then?
Hello? I can't hear. You talk louder. Nanny. Between the reception and her language skills.
Suppose you got a little choo-choo train at home, huh? Takes your toast right from the kitchen, delivers it to your bedroom.
I'm sorry about what happened with Junior at the shooting.
Don't mention Junior to me, ever again. I tell you this, buddy. You can't find me on this butter and more shit forever. You're an okay guy, but each and every man is judged on his own merit.
This is Kevin Harlan along with Mark Kellogg and Greg Hessing. And of course, David Aldridge is joining us tonight for the
Have you heard the good news?
Jesus Christ.
That's right. Aaron Markoway, Jan Springs.
Oh, yeah. Right.
We're protesting downstairs, and I saw Jan in the elevator this morning. She told me you were up here.
That's all that yelling and singing is.
Druggist from the hospital pharmacy was fired for refusing to fill birth control prescriptions. We're trying to get his job back. Tony, this is our caretaker, Bob Brewster.
Hi. Aaron's told me a lot about you. I thought we'd come up and pray with you.
Bottom feed there.
Where the big fish are.
And out of bounds as he's running for teams.
Fucking bitch.
You've got to lead with those things at the forefront.
Cut my morphine. I'm trying to bring me off.
I've seen people deliver from unbelievable pain. Myself included.
Oh, yeah?
I was at rock bottom. I was addicted to cocaine and strippers. Then I lost my wife. Then I crashed my car, drunk. Ended up upside down, hanging from my seatbelt, completely terrified. And I prayed for God to save me. He came in. And in that moment, I was reborn. And I see you there, and I know you're hurting. And the answer is to accept the Lord as your personal Savior.
Well, I got all this covered, with my parish priest.
That's great. But what God wants is for you to love Him directly. Not necessarily through the intercession of liturgy or any human agent.
Hey,
Hey,
what are you fellas doing here?
Mrs. Soprano, we were just dialoguing with your husband. We were about to pray.
Tell you what,
You're having surgery tomorrow. You know, they've done clinical studies about the power of prayer. Prayed-for patients have 11% fewer complications.
I have read that. It does help to pray, and even if it just takes your mind off it.
Dear Jesus, hear these words, bestow your loving, healing grace upon our injured friend. Lord, have healed his wounds and help him with your cleansing love. Mercy abounds, grace abounds in whom.
And you know that's good to be working, guys. So that's a prevention.
it really does make the game.
amen.
To the rim that well with a pass.
So, Reverend, let me ask you about this guy not selling birth control.
He should be free to exercise his moral convictions without suffering a loss of livelihood.
Well, here's what I'm getting at. I'm worried about Viagra. The way I see it, I'm going to need plenty of that considering my condition. And but if somebody decides that Viagra is wrong, I don't like it.
Well, God loves procreation. No one's saying anything against Viagra. Birth control, and namely the morning after pill, is a sin because it strikes at life, at the unborn.
And what if somebody goes after Viagra? I'm not talking about procreation. And listen up, because this affects you too.
Something like Viagra will never be.
Excuse me, but one time they were going at the booth. As a proprietor of a Green Connecticut establishment, I take this stuff very seriously.
Strip club, I believe it is.
Oh, you been there, baby?
You should rest. Thank you so much for coming past time out there, and thank you so much for your prayer.
Yeah, really, I really appreciate it.
He has an opportunity. He's going to take it strong to the hoop. Guys are looking for a spark here. Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
What are you, a Wises?
What?
Bolts against
What I do?
left up and the ball power smooth, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. It's going to be a Mason Bucket. You know, Fultz is a special guy. He got a chance to be really
Good.
impressive.
He's from Jimmy Hoffa.
In Montana, the fossilized remains of the Tyrannosaurus rex yielded soft tissue that indicated a definite link between dinosaurs and modern birds.
Look what I got here.
Oh, the sanitation French.
Hi, Tony. I'm sorry you're not feeling well.
Thank you. Sorry about your loss. Father and I were very close. Remember my daughter Maro? Jason Burger. Remember when you were a kid? At that little box at Shea, opening day. Me, you, your dad, Wally.
Oh, yeah. Kingman was just back from the Cubs.
Cookie Wilson in that fellow, beating that guy in the low. Sweetheart, thank you for it.
So we Sweatherberg will take it the other way.
Where now?
Must be a done.
He's the best of luck.
Also considering law.
And here is ball. Still looking for his
So you're living in Deer Valley.
Yeah, ski instructor.
So, Wally tells me you're thinking of selling your father's business, Johnny Gianelli.
Yeah, I think it's the best thing for you. And of course, Tony, there'd be a severance package for you.
Frankly, Jason, I don't think you should sell the business right now. There's a lot of potential buyers out there. Look at that house for the numbers. It's the best price.
Chinelli's offer seemed fair. There's lots of things to take into account. You even know what your effort is. My what?
Earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization.
Gives the true picture of a company's profitability. Thanks. You love me, Yankees. I'm more seeker. Club business. It's a different corporate culture. You're dying, Dave. We'll leave.
That's
To the paint.
We're afraid she doesn't have long left.
I'm surprised she didn't call him up.
She asked specifically to see you.
Because of that lead ability, it kind of offsets his height disadvantage. Like Wayne, pops it up for Jordan, and DeAndre Jordan closes it down. Boy, Jordan is an alley-oop specialist, a big target, strength and balance.
Hey, Donnie. Hold on a second. It's chilly in here. Don't burn it up. Don't burn it up.
I bought you some pinoli's and
You pair of speedo skin divers, actually. Look at us. The tricks are all gone. You slipped on the linoleum again. Don't wear out.
just a sec. Sister, please give me a hand here. Put these on my head, will you?
Speak up, Beta.
How could you be a big girl?
You're nothing.
These are too small. No, they ain't. They're supposed to be slow so she don't slip. Come on.
I was still doing this shit. I was helping out the girls and there was the soldier, Ross. It was so lonely.
Yeah, Daddy, this is going where I think. Maybe you should talk to a priest.
I got pregnant. I had a baby.
A baby? Listen to her. The other side is getting through. You didn't have no baby.
I did have a baby. Push. Hit my son.
What? Oh, Mom.
Maria Lucia is your aunt. I'm your mom.
He takes it in over James. Again, the mix on the kick. And LeBron with the clear cut to the hoop.
Good afternoon, Mr. Soprano. How are you doing?
How's that for a one-man show? But this fella off.
Well, they've been keeping you. The doctors around here said you let it go your belt.
I'm not a doctor. I'm a utilization review specialist. I represent your insurance carrier. It's my job, together with your physicians, to see how fast we can get you out of this place and back home. Well, this is good. They closed your incision and you're ambulatory now, and I see they got the Foley out.
You want to kick me out of here?
Well, hospitals say it costs a lot of money.
My bowels don't work. I'm in pain. Just got operated on, for Christ's sake.
Well, perhaps your bowels would be working better if you hadn't tried to eat this sausage sandwich on 328.
I don't believe this more money I've been contributing over the years. You want to put me in the straight?
Look, you think we're the enemy, but if you hadn't had insurance, you would have ended up at the county hospital. It's a good thing that you got your card with you when they performed the road marks.
Oh, what?
In the ambulance. If you hadn't had your card with you, they would have dropped your butt at Martin Luther King.
The wall of biopsy. Let them in the room, you sick cunt.
And it's McRae at the two. Pocket four. Rebound by Johnson. And they could continue to control.
You're doing great.
Mr. Soprano, Dr. Attachments on the phone.
Anything you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
There's the drive.
There's a flip side to everything.
These teams rack up.
Let's lead with some good news for a change. Armageddon CD is now charting number 5. Arrow up. Look, frankly, the city couldn't have come at better time. It really hurts.
Baby boy, sure it does.
I can get near that. And Biddy, he only got 2 more.
Yeah, but it really hurts. It's helping considerably with the street cred, which, as you know, has always been something
We'll lose about that.
Special hand surgery coming in.
Come on, man. You gonna be alright, love.
Don't put it on that face. That'll make me weak. Keep your eyes on yourself, you sexy freak. Keep your eyes to yourself, bitch. I'm on a murder street. Yeah, done the warning ass, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fine.
Who write the song, huh? Always wondered how it was done.
Like this here.
Are you a rap star, my son?
So let's go introduce my own. Then he gets shot. They come gangster number 1. It's like he losing focus on my shit. My son says he's more popular than ever caution.
All I know is I ain't gonna have no mention of this shit.
That is his first foul of the game. So each Rutherford ends up going with a whole new group. On the wing, Morris. Brown outside.
Holy! I won $40 at Keno.
Against Drummond.
Is there something you want to tell me about?
What?
I just saw Red Dot. And guess what? Turns out she's not my aunt. Turns out she's my mother. No, that's not true. Don't bullshit me. You've been bullshit me my entire life.
Holy!
It's true, isn't it? Isn't it? Son of a bitch!
Oh, I dreaded this day.
I gave you everything. I gave you self-love. All under false pretense.
No.
You're a fraud. You're a phony. And she's even worse. She's a fool. My mother's a fucking fool.
Don't say that. She was a young girl. She wanted to be a nun, but she got in trouble.
And you hooked her up. Cooked up this little scheme. Forget who gets victimized.
I loved you. I always loved you. Why?
Right ball. This goes to LeBron. Then got the limited 10 out for East Rutherford. And an important part of every team's. So look at the hustle steps for East Rutherford.
There he is. I've been thinking about your problem.
Maybe I was looking if you got shot. Cheers for the love. Got shot. Make you more popular too. You know, raise your profile with that slaps. Something easy, the fleshy part of the thigh. I'm a marksman. He's a crazy motherfucker.
Especially in this first half. Sacramento shoot their second and third shots go out right here. And last season,
Excuse me.
from the line.
You're a friend of Anthony's. I was just about to visit him. How's he doing?
He's in a lot better shape than those fucking nuns you got out there.
And it's invalid for Jason Tatum. Ball with the bucket. Miscommunication.
Between Father and Son, there is a bridge which neither tie nor
Hey, I got fully accounted.
On their heels.
Just to let you know the time when I was a little kid. What about?
Kevin, Bojan Bogdanovic was a pro in Europe for a decade before he joined the NBA.
Want me to bring him up?
A lot of players who are happy over there, but I wanted to have another challenge. To play against the best in the world. That was the only thing that was important to me. Guys, lived up to that promise.
He loved that challenge. He's having success.
Rob is in the right spot for him, but Rob is never the right spot. There's something special going on.
Hope you got some sleep last night. I was snoring like a son of a bitch.
Well, I hope you got some sleep. I was got parts like sonic booms. John Swin.
Oh, bicycle.
Unfortunately, no relation. I was just a foot soldier at Bell Labs.
But you guys invented stereo. Tony Soprano. What are you for?
Sinus infection. They were going to enlarge the opening in my lower right maxillary sinus. They saw some stuff I didn't like, so I'm running tests.
Not a guinea pig. Thank you for giving my kid that CD.
Tony Soprano.
Iguodala deciding where to go with it.
Original G. Yeah, whatever.
Why don't you come on and join later on tonight? Going out to fight on Saturday.
And they force a shot clock violation. 3 teams.
Not even a courtesy call. Are you trying to poach my company?
No disrespect, Tony. You've been in a coma.
That gives you off lunch.
It's that fucking John. He's sitting in the can. The feds are trying to take everything he's got. He's in a panic state.
I don't set you to that. But whatever happens to the wrong sanitation, I gotta be kept on. I need that W-2. As you can see, I'm facing a long convalescence here. And Baruch is my secondary insurance carrier. I need it.
John's gonna take care of you. You know that, Tony. And what you're asking? 25% of the sale price? Year's salary till retirement? Plus, come on.
Look, I don't want to. I'm not well. So I'll give John a break on the skin. Get 2 G's a week now. How many stops we base that on? Oh. How many stops? What the fuck you talking about? It's at least 25. 25. What? Yeah. All right, I take the skill on 20. 1,500 a week, but I stay on the payroll. As is.
All I can do is deliver the message, Anthony.
You got your head up your ass today. What's going on?
My aunt Dottie's been sick. Cold like that? It's
Bryant's got 16 points. Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them season. The Kings trail by 15.
Close.
Jordan sets the bid for Colts. Option up for Jordan. Goes straight to the
What's the story, guys?
the foul. He'll go to the line.
nice.
LaMelo Ball picks one up.
She must be blowing up.
By DeAndre Jordan.
Here we are.
Going to be stopped. Got the hoop.
That's your brother and sister coming in?
Yeah.
Your aunt. She's the nun.
Yeah.
Always wondered. They got hair under there.
Yeah. Sure.
No good on the free. Trey, you were a physical, defense-minded player.
Maybe I don't want to talk about it.
How closely the game
Yeah.
as opposed to when you play. It is, Kevin, and yeah, some people like the physicality of the year.
Those wedding rings they wear.
I like the beauty of
Are they really married to Jesus?
and I think that's one
So I understand.
so much switch. It is hard to fight those strings without fouling, and ball handlers have become experts
Steve,
at drawing contact.
This is the guy.
Even if it's
The paramedic.
accidental. And I think that's
No, biopsy. Nice.
hard to play better defense.
Very nice.
But right there,
These people are saying I took money from you, Wally? Fuck that.
Whoa, what'd you say?
I was looking for proof of insurance. I was only doing my job.
No,
You owe me $2K. It was gone from my wallet.
I don't have that kind of money.
1 week.
takes the three.
Rudy Diaz, you'll need a paramedic.
And they got to be not just on the scoreboard, but really in the rebounding.
Well, nice you to come by. See you next week, huh?
This activity, Tony, are you getting any rest?
Absolutely. The guys are just leaving.
Rough, but that's how you win games. Sacramento's gone 1 of 4.
So you two came together. You talking now?
Mom apologized to me.
Good job. Good.
Good. I'm glad to see you right now.
Fucker keeps dropping his hands.
That boy's getting tired.
Got to play much smarter than that.
He's supposed to be 50 G's.
Who do you place you actually? Online? The price they give you on Alvarez.
350. Hold the motherfucker stay.
About 3 seconds between shot and
My friends here give you 375. I pull it.
for a young player, I like the way Paul sees the floor. He knows and feels
Well, you got a health insurance he's got.
It's the life of abuse. Well, here's a boxer. It's a safe for everybody. Look at you, Dave. You thought you were up to the kindness. You get shot for your records. You think you got family, but in the end, they fuck you too.
His hands just died.
right there.
Hey, each and every one of us are alone in the ring, fighting for our lives. Just like that, folks.
I'm going to look at it. You got a better one? Don't get me started. It's complicated.
They got stupid.
Well, it's actually an illusion. Those two boxes are separate entities.
The fuck? Illusion.
The separate entities is simply the way we choose to proceed.
I didn't shoot nothing.
It's physics. Schrodinger's equation. The boxes, you and me, we're all part of the same quantum field.
You want the substitute teacher at Colorado School?
He's a rocket scientist, for Christ's sake. Well, there.
Lift it up, nigga.
You were saying.
Well, think of the two boxes as ocean waves or currents of air, two tornadoes. They appear to be two things, right? Two separate things, but they're not. The tornadoes are just wind stirred up in different directions. The fact is, nothing is separate, everything is connected. Everything is everything. What the hell with that?
Get the fuck out of here.
The universe is just a big soup of molecules bumping up against one another. The shapes we see exist only in our own consciousness. Hey, Sean, baby, come over here. It's all fucking fine. Fix that TV.
Oh, they'll snap out there with Tatum. Then there's Brown. Then it's DeAndre Ayton. And it's Fultz for one. Tatum, no good.
Besides the financial ramifications, says there's the issue of his W-2 health insurance.
That's selfish. I'm sitting in here facing a shitstorm, and all he can think about is himself.
Right there, just telling them no easy layup.
As far as the sale's concerned, that ship has sailed. It's going through. And as a friend, I would appreciate Tony's help. Because he's a friend, here's what I want to do. Ginelli will retain him as waste management consultant for 2 years. During that time, he can keep his fucking W-2 and his health insurance. Plus 5% of the sales. And we lease him a new car.
You're fucking kidding me? I talk about that W-2 in perpetuity. 5% fucking sales price. He thinks there's so many squeaks he can take. He can take advantage, but he can go fuck himself. I'm just telling you what full comes from. And you tell Jason before he sells, he better understand his obligation.
Covered by Ball. Shot clock at 6.
There's a bridge in deep in the alley, along the empty stank road, and there a sunny morning, when Jimmy Brown was born. All the chapel bells were ringing, and the world they were singing, was my baby Jimmy Brown, and the congregation waiting at the school bell. Lead us not to temptation, just as our meditation, that it would eternal love.
Here's a bullet. Since in Tony's advice, you seem determined to sell your father's company. There's something you should know. No matters. We gotta be taken care of. Of course, we can honor whatever provisions are in the contract. Tony's given years of his life to the company, and he expects to be duly compensated. Johnny Sack sure as shit ain't gonna fall. Who? Mr. Ginelli's waste management consultant. And since Johnny Sack ain't gonna step up, guess what? It's coming out of your race.
You know, I'm starting to feel a little intimidated.
Well, you should, my friend. A man who teaches skiing for a living. Or to look after his physical condition. When you say? His knees. Kid, you wouldn't be in this situation to listen to Tony in the first place. He's looking out for you. He doesn't want to see you get hurt.
I think it is, Greg.
I got a lot of money these days. I don't need this shit.
Players in the NBA who can pull something like that off. Ball, the Vincenzo.
Jason, we shook hands. The deal's a deal. There's lifetime employees who expect compensation. It's only equitable. If you're willing to take care of that, maybe we could still work things out.
Tony's fine, right? Fuck that and fuck him. He's your problem.
Look, the numbers just don't work.
Jason! I'm going to the buffet table!
Be right there, Mom.
If I give Tony what he wants, I lose money on the sale. I can't do that to my mom.
Kid, you work it out any way you want, but nobody's backing out of the deal.
Mr. Ginelli, I'm sorry, but the bottom line is I'm not selling the company to you. There are other buyers out there. Tony was quite clear about that.
I'll tell you the fucking bottom line, laddie buck. The Barone routes are not Ginelli routes. That's that.
Nice ball over here by the kid. Over in the corner, Brown. Again, the miss by the king. Rutherford leads by 18. LeBron passes to Curry.
See?
Good, and the assist goes to LeBron.
Good thing they put this little girl in. That third-degree nerves on 80% of her body.
Doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow anyone to inside like that.
There's a little girl burned in there.
Tatum's got 6.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry,
bitch.
0 points, nada. He's starting to get
What the fuck is with you? I don't want some answers. Because you're starting to drive me fucking nuts.
This remains between us.
Of course.
My aunt who died. She was my aunt.
possible to know what changes taken in advance. I mean,
She was my mother.
Your aunt, I know. What you want?
Some cocksucker GI knocked her up during the war. Russ.
So what you want?
My ma's my aunt. She adopted me to hide the family shame. Believe this shit? All I did for her. Not only is my mom not my mom, who the fuck even knows who this Russ bastard is? Worst thing, I'm not who I am. It's like my whole life is a joke. A big fucking joke on me.
Tiene que regresar para la escuela. No solamente para el día de fiesta.
So far, still no points in the game. Oh, and then the alley. Scored away. That was trying to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there.
What's going on? Since you're out over. Flowers. Chanel. What do you mean? I have this route for 5 years.
Set 6. A towering presence on the offensive glass. Right well. Possession a lot. 3-15. Foul outside. All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for East Rutherford. They haven't been pushed around at all.
Who's there?
They've also jumped on any opportunity they've had to attack the
You didn't go to your mother's funeral. That's a sin.
Some mother, even a rat don't abandon its own children.
Well, you should feel so. She's gonna have to face St. Peter with that stain on her.
I hope she rots in hell.
Don't say that.
And you, that was your meal ticket. The goose with the golden eggs. Look at this place. Who set you up here? Not that fucking brother of mine. Or Rose. They never provided you with shit. Your real children can start now. I went without, so you can have the mink coat, the massage chair from Shopper's Image, the flat screen TV, $2,000 for a woman I don't even know.
I don't think there was anyone who could have stopped him on that one. Well, guys, I'm glad they did try because I don't want anybody to get hurt out there.
Please.
You're on your own. I never want to see you again.
I told you, it's a different corporate culture. I tried to redefine the deal. You shouldn't have made the deal without talking to me in the first place.
Well, goddamn, how was I supposed to know? I made it perfectly clear. Give up part of your profit. Thanks to you, a man is beaten half to death.
Well, his little boy was watching, and it's all over the media.
It's not fair. The business belongs to my family.
Fair?
This was the pick because I love this pass.
You fucking believe this shit?
That's what I
You might be my kid. Talk to the Katrina victims about it.
with that vision. I mean, he put the ball in the absolute perfect spot. frustrating. And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. And it's Colts with the ball for the King. It's an 18-point game. They've got from it. He's out there with LeBron James, and it's Plumlee into the box. He's got just one of his 4 attempts from the floor tonight. LeBron against Colts. It's LeBron with the try. And James throws it down.
It's hard to do anyone's mistake to get after this race. He's provided almost all of their offense.
Here's Colts. Look, we know guys like LeBron and Michael Jordan will look for any perceived slight as a form of motivation. Was that something that you ever did as a player?
You know, Kevin, I really didn't go down that road. Now, had I played longer at the NBA level, I had a very short NBA career. Maybe I would have approached it that way. If there was a slight or if there was a player that gave you trouble and you needed to get back at him in some way, sure, you'd be motivated by that. But I don't know if I was honey for bulletin board material. I sought to be intrinsically or self-motivated from the inside as opposed to looking for outside influences to move me forward.
The Kings trail by 20. 60 seconds off the clock here in the fourth. The kick out to Tatum. The basket good off the assist from Colts. Colts has got 6 assists now in the game.
And they've shaken off that slow start, giving them a boost here in the second.
It's LeBron with the try. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Well, he is going to the line, but that's not a bad play by the defense. I mean, you just can't let LeBron run free. I think you're always better off making him earn it at the line.
And he knocks down the first one. Andre's checked in for DeAndre Jordan, and he can't hit the second.
He's done a much better job of getting to the line here. Aggressively taking it inside and not shying away from contact. I thought he was settling a bit in the coach.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
How about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
No question about it. They found a nice rhythm from deep.
The bathroom goes out. Last season was kind of a rough one, very turbulent for the NBA. The China controversy, the passing of David Stern, Kobe Bryant, finally the COVID pandemic. Other than that, it was kind of uneventful.
Yeah, I mean, an incredibly tough year.
Wow.
You know, you just go back to March, and who would have ever thought we would go through what we went through? We talked about all the other issues, David Stern and Kobe both passing. You know, I'm just hopeful we get a return to normality, because that sounds pretty good right about now.
It sure does. Johnson with the block. And here we go. Fast break. James has got it. Oh, good on the triple.
He's tried to get it going, but the shots simply have not been there. Nothing seems to be falling.
Tatum kicks to Fultz. The feed down to Millsap. Unloads from 9. That shot off. So East Rutherford will take it the other way. LeBron James on the wing. Covered by Tatum.
Man, he's got a lot of firepower right now. I mean, what a half he's had.
For Sacramento, they've gone just 1 of 6 in the field to start the fourth quarter. A bit of a slowdown for them right now. Timeout called by the Kings.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
And, you know, I think he's going to tell him simply, we have to show more fight on the interior. That's the top priority right now.
And here is Hezonja. On the wing, Morris. Talk about receding in the playoffs when you got down to the final 4 teams. If it ensures the two best teams make the finals, it would seem to me, Greg, to be worth it. What about you?
You know, it could be. I think about the worldwide attention on that championship round, but you got to get the Eastern Conference teams to sign off on that. And, you know, we've seen it happen in the past. The power shift together, but ultimately, nothing better than seeing the two best teams play for it all.
The Kings have gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. Oh, and then jam by Ayton.
And look at Ayton get up there. I have to enjoy watching the big man getting tricky with it.
Here's Pritchard. Terry covering. Out of bounds. Sacramento takes possession.
That is just a careless turnover. Got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Away. Now here's Valentine. Some solid defense from Brown.
Boy, that is awesome defense, guys, against a capable finisher. Well done. I'm sure the coaches love that.
Down low, and Ayton throws it down.
I love the play call. Ayton's a well-coordinated athlete. You know he has the reach. Give him a chance to go up and get it.
Valentine with it. Pass to Pritchard. Over Fultz. 1:58 left to play in the final quarter. To the pick. Here's Millsap. The basket good off the assist from Fultz.
Love watching Millsap go to work inside. He's a pretty smooth operator in the paint. Good footwork, good strength, and good touch.
Going inside. Pass to Pritchard. Greg, we're seeing the game evolve. We're seeing more and more big men displaying perimeter skills. Do you like that? Or is there a part of you that misses those days when it all played out inside the lane in a very condensed area?
Listen, Kev, I think the game has kind of evolved on from the impact that the bigs had on the interior, but not the impact that they're having on the game. The reality of the game just doesn't seem as good. And now, as a big, you got to have front-court versatility. You got to be able to play in space. And as a fan, I just find the game to be more appealing to watch with the freedom of movement, the flow, and more of the skill set being put on display.
I agree. And now a moment to present the New Balance Player of the Game, LeBron James.
And his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him.
He sure has given this crowd a treat tonight. His kind of performance only cements his status as a fan favorite. And so it's Terry bringing it up for Sacramento.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gouty win for each brother.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And they took charge when it counted, and Fibonacci their 9th win overall. And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for LeBron.
Well, the defense just couldn't figure him out, and he continued to put it to him.
McRae kicks to Hazonia. 6 on the shot clock. The fadeaway. Nailed from three-point land.
You've got to get to Hazonia early. This guy has in the gym range. He's a threat to score from any place.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. A nice shot by LeBron.
And it's just competing. Giving your best when it matters most.
Yeah, once they got victory in their view, a huge injection of energy and a great run to finish it off.
Free throw, good. Terry. And he makes the first, but misses the second. And so here is East Rutherford. Plumlee with a screen on Terry. And East Rutherford, another three.
They made the most of their opportunities, looking comfortable and locked in throughout the night.
Boy, they're giving their fans plenty to cheer about, that's for sure. Effort, skill, coaching, you name it, they've done it.
And so it's East Rutherford. They won this game going away. They were the better basketball team by 20.
And you got to commend this sort of dominance, particularly here at home. It's a great feeling when you play almost a perfect game and to have that crowd be so pumped up.
And now we're going to be over to standing by with our player of the game. Take it away, David.
Thank you, Kevin. LeBron, a challenge for you tonight with your matchup. How much motivation do you get in a game like this?
My matchup is not an individual matchup. It's us as a team trying to get better. And
thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Alder, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching.
Hi, and thanks for joining us on 2K Sports NBA action. It's coming up. Alongside Hall of Famers Doris Burke and Grant Hill, I'm Brian Anderson. Allie LaForce on the sideline. Allie, it's all yours.
Well, guys, Giannis Antetokounmpo has left no doubt he wants to be one of the best ever. At the same time, he understands what it takes to achieve greatness. He said, quote, "I've got to be locked in every night, because at the end of the day, if you don't win, it really doesn't matter." Back to you, Diego.
Squad goals, Allie. Thank you. And two conference rivals facing off here. Grant, what were some of your fiercest rivalries at the NBA level?
Oh, wow. Back in my early years in Detroit, going against Glenn Robinson. Of course, the Chicago Bulls, the whole Chicago-Detroit rivalry that existed. Later on in Phoenix, of course, you had the San Antonio Spurs with Tim Duncan, the Los Angeles Lakers with the late Kobe Bryant. Just some fun rivalries. Those were games, whether at home or on the road, that you really got up for as a team and as an individual.
Now the starting group for the visitors. LeBron James out there with Andre Drummond. Then it's Dante DiVincenzo. Then it's Ball. And it's Lovely in at the 5. And for Dallas, they've got Mo Wagner. Kemba Walker's out there with Josh Richardson. Then it's Giannis Antetokounmpo. And it's Bridges in at the 3. Small forward. Now here's Richardson. Pass to Walker. He takes it in. Nice start for him. Taking his first shot.
That's part of what Kemba Walker does that makes him dangerous, scoring off the move. How about that body control guy?
James goes in and slam dunk by James.
And when he plays with that kind of attacking basketball, almost impossible to stop near the rim.
Walker against Ball. Walker passes to Antetokounmpo. Drives to the hoop. And Antetokounmpo with the stuff.
That's almost unfair. Giannis with the elite handle to get there and the power to rush off the contact. The VA is incredible. How often do you see a player come off of an MVP season and get even better? Last year, Giannis Antetokounmpo set a career high with his rate of scoring
Here's Richardson. Pass to Walker. Back to Richardson. Here's Walker. 6 on the shot clock. Hey, Grant, maybe the most important area of growth for Giannis is his perimeter shooting.
I agree, BA. Although he's doubled his career rate of three-point attempts, making over 30%, there's obviously still room for improvement. But we all can see his confidence is growing. Once he figures that out, that's trouble for the rest of the league.
Now here's Walker. For East Rutherford, they've gone 4 of 4 from the floor. Perfect start. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in. James attacking. And it's James with the jam.
You can see in LeBron's eyes, he would not be denied on that drive.
Here's Richardson. Walker against ball.
This has not been a good period for this guy. Out of sync, not letting the game come to him. He's got to settle down.
Oh, hey, how about that?
LeBron James, ever the showman, with an exceptional slam there. One of the best dunkers in the history of the game.
Johnson, he's checked in from Plumlee.
It's so interesting with perimeter play taking on such importance. It becomes a new challenge for those playing the pivot position. Andre Drummond, for example, right? A two-time All-Star, but is his long-term value at all diminished?
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
And it's James with the jam.
Well, at this point, with LeBron rolling, the number one goal on every possession, get it to the king.
And the Mavericks making a change here. Smart's checked in. Timeout on the floor. Mavericks. Doris, for Drummond in Detroit, only 1 year above 500. How can he impact winning at a greater level, you think?
Well, BA, I think you've seen Andre Drummond try to grow his game on the offensive end of the floor. Remember, there was a season that they ran the ball through him at the high post, trying to take advantage of his passing skills, the feel he has. We know it's primarily going to be with his rebounding and his defense, but he's tried to grow offensively. I think they could have gotten a better look right there. He's just a little over anxious, I think, to get that shot off.
Here's Johnson. Pass to DiVincenzo. 4-3. Oh, and there's the whistle on the shot. So 2 free throws for him. Surveying the league, Doris, some teams that look great on paper coming into the year have really underachieved thus far.
And that's why this season is always so interesting. All the theories and predictions eventually give way to the actual on-court performance. So have injuries played a part? Have personality conflicts played a part? What's fascinating to me is a team with one player switch up, regardless of position, can make all the difference in the world.
Just 5 on the clock. Dallas, no good that time either.
And even with the miss, that's a high percentage shot for him.
Here's Walker. And the shot goes. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
It seems to me Kemba Walker has always been a natural-born leader, and there's something about his personality that allows him to fit in seamlessly wherever he goes, whatever circumstance he finds himself in.
Coach loves the execution, just not the result. That's okay. That's part of the process.
1:15 left to play in the first quarter. Hauled in by DiVincenzo.
Maybe he rushes that just a little bit, who knows, but he couldn't have gotten a better look than that.
Walker against ball.
And the lead increases on a crazy offensive sequence.
Man, the dunk alone would have been incredible, let alone the fact that it came off a 10-point pass. The Mavericks have gotten 5 of 11 shots to go. Smart outside. Pass to Birch. Outside Walker. There's the triple. Ooh, excellent D there from Ball. For East Rutherford, they've gone an impressive 8 of 9. And there's the whistle. He'll head to the line to shoot 2. And again, and he's good on the second. .105 left in the first quarter of the game. Outside Walker. Outside Hardaway. The 3. Ball with the rebound. The 3, James. Mavericks with the rebound. Hardaway with it. Guarded now by Ball. Pass to Birch. Now Walker. Beyond the arc. Gets the 3 to Ball. Walker's got 11.
Well, individually, he is doing everything he can in this 12-minute set. He's not getting enough help.
James goes in and slams dunk by James.
For 6'8", 250 pounds, you're going to have to do more than that to stop LeBron.
Here's Walker. 7-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Outside Hardaway. Fires the 3. Ball with the rebound. And they're on the break. The baseline J is on the way. That one off the back iron and out. Outside Hardaway. Hardaway on the wing. Jacks up a 3. And he can't get that one.
And free-flowing first quarter. Great scoring, Q1. Up by 5.
And quarter number 2 will get underway just after this short break. And earlier we checked in with Giannis Antetokounmpo. He had this to say about losing to the Raptors back in 2019. All part of the process of achieving greatness.
Yeah, most guys have had to go through it. MJ, LeBron, leading a team to a championship rarely happens early on in your career.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And what do you guys think about the visitors here in this one?
Well, coming into tonight, maybe you thought they were going to settle for perimeter jump shots. Nope, that's not the case.
They've certainly made the commitment to pounding the basketball into the painted area, and boy, is it paying dividends.
The Mavericks trailing. Nice move. And his first miss of the night. Now 2 of 3.
And they just continue to dominate the boards.
James double team. Here's Valentine. And he can't extend the lead to double digits.
He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there. There is so much to like about the game of Mo Wagner. This guy can post, he can make deep shots, and his rebounding was much improved last season. I think this is a guy who is on the rise.
Let's check in with our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Hard to argue against the fact that Giannis Antetokounmpo is the game's most physical threat. He said, quote, in the NBA, they want me to block. You're strong and you get through contact, and they don't get the foul call. But he said that flopping is not who I am. I'm just going to try and power through. Guys?
Well, that's what the fans want to see, Allie. Thanks. Here's Smart. Misses with the fallback game. Of course, another place where Wagner really excels, scoring after setting the screen.
Right, it shows great hands.
Oh! Gets it down.
Showing some power.
I'll tell you, the strength of a locomotive and the finesse of a ballerina. Each time he takes it to the rim.
Outside Richardson. Here he goes. He gets it in there. Richardson's got his first 2 points of the night.
He's got a big speed advantage in that matchup. Could be a blow by every single time.
Oh, and the jam by James.
Now, LeBron James will inflict
For Dallas, they've gone just 1 of 3 to begin the second quarter. They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score. And just a lack of fight right now on the defensive end.
Right? At least on that slam it was. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
Right, you can see on that possession, one side playing with a little desperation, the other side losing focus. Boy, he's been unconscious this quarter. I love the confidence he's playing with.
And here is Antetokounmpo. Pass to Wagner. Smart with the ball. Fades and shoots. Fires from deep. Bridges misses.
They really have a commanding lead, not just in points, but in rebounds as well.
James with the ball, guarded by Antetokounmpo. James, right side. And slam dunked by James.
Woo! Putting on a show for the fans. Going up with a graceful reverse.
Oh, that had a little extra sauce on it, Grant. The Mavericks have gotten 2 of 5 shots to fall this second quarter. Now a timeout called by Dallas. And of the great scorers, Grant, who strikes you as the most unselfish?
Without a doubt, BA, it's LeBron James. I mean, LeBron James throughout his career has been almost at times a pass-first kind of player. A guy who players love to play with because he's so good at facilitating the basketball and keeping everyone engaged. Oh, but by the way, he's a great scorer. May go down when it's all said and done as the greatest scorer ever in the NBA. As a guy, so unselfish. The most unselfish scorer and maybe the most unselfish superstar in the history of the NBA.
Led the NBA in assists last season.
You know, guys, that's the selfless attitude of Mikal Bridges, so willing to give it up to an open guy.
Earning his money on the interior tonight. That's a nice move.
For Dallas, they've got 3 of 6 shots to go here in the second quarter. Back to Smart. Will not go. Misses off the front iron. Pass to Trent. Takes the assist and lays it in. Nice setup.
It's incredible to me how remarkably in tune LeBron is with the movement of his teammates. The guy is a scorer, he's a creator, he's a force to be reckoned with.
James with the block. And he recovers it. Here's Pritchard. Well, he hasn't put up any points yet in this one. Plumlee, a screen on Smart. 3-pointer, no good. The Mavericks shooting 36% for the game. Not great. On the wing, Richardson. Back to Smart. Using his post moves to get the 2 points. Smart has got his 3rd basket on the night right there. For East Rutherford, they've gotten 8 of their first 10 to go. Great shooting here in the second quarter. And it's James with the jam.
One-handed tomahawk. That's a guaranteed highlight, BA.
Check out the bench. They flew out of their seats after that. Richardson with it. Smart outside. The 3. The shot that time not on target.
And you can tell right there, the defense is totally fine with him shooting that. That's not his game. Never easy to stop this guy at the rim, but that is a beautiful contest right there.
Antetokounmpo outside. Lets it fly. Plumlee pulls down the board.
Boy, the wheels have definitely fallen off in this quarter. He cannot buy one.
The BA, when he gets the rim in his sights, it's tough to stop.
So aggressive and a determined finisher. Nice. 1:19 left to play in the first half. Smart for 3. Rebounded by LeBron. East Rutherford has gone 0 for 2 from outside in the second quarter. Oh, LeBron hammers it home.
He's shaking the hoop. He's actually shaking the whole building.
Oh, what a slam. Look here, the fans going crazy right now. Boy, they need something to go to regain some confidence.
No question. Way too many empty possessions for them. There's just a lot of wide open lanes to the rim here. That'll drive your coach nuts.
All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick's
There's a lot to figure out right now.
There's a lot of players that need the ball in their hands to be effective. But the effects go another way.
NBA, that makes
has
him
gotten the official dates and the location finally announced. Up until this point, from December of last year, there were no new dates for the Olympic Games.
You don't need to be a high
Very
usage
rare
player
occurrence, but
to
last
make a
time this
huge
happened,
impact.
basically last year was the first time it's ever happened.
Walker against DiVincenzo.
Pass to Bridges. This year, the 2021 Mr. Olympia will be brought
So plenty of contact on that shot. Officials call the foul, and he'll take
so
two
it
free
looks
throws
like
now.
Jay Cutler
Well,
was
they're
right.
playing with fire, putting Miguel Bridges on the free throw line. This guy's so comfortable at the charity stripe.
I've been hearing for about a month now that it was going to be in Florida again. But all of that was unconfirmed, and now we know for sure. It
No
will
good
be
on a free throw.
Some people are thinking it will be in Orlando, Florida. So, there's a couple of things to consider here. Number one, I'm wondering if there is going to be an expo. So, they originally posted this on the
second one.
website.
This young man came out of college, highly decorated, having won 2 national championships.
They
And in
mentioned
the
the fact that
NBA,
the Orange
Miguel
County
Bridges
Convention
has shown
Center will once
those
again
were not flukes. This guy's got big-time talent. Well, he's such a good athlete for a center. It's how he's able to succeed despite being one of the smallest fives in the NBA.
Pass to Birch. So this is going to be interesting to see.
12 seconds left in the first half.
If slides win, the Arnold Classic USA is even.
Dallas needs to get off a shot. Walker
We
for
still
three.
have yet to get new dates for the Arnold Classic USA. And I'm guessing that those dates would be based on the dates of the Olympia. Optimally, you'd think they would want to put before the Olympics. So maybe we will see it happen
right back out here for the start of the.
or maybe we won't see it happen at all. But the Expo I mentioned, because the Arnold Classic event in Ohio is heavily tied with this Expo. The Expo is pretty much the biggest Expo in bodybuilding. So I'm curious to see what direction the Olympia goes with its Expo this year. And how that's going to reflect on if you get an Arnold Classic this year in Ohio.
He just turned in an outstanding game with their last outing.
Now, obviously, Ohio has different rules. They might not be able to
How about you, Kate? What did you think about visiting?
We'll see something similar.
Let's give it up.
Too.
Let's give it up.
Or might we
How many
see
times
for the
have you
first
seen
time
him
in history the Arnold Classic
It's amazing what he does.
state
And he
to go to
continues
Florida?
to do it.
That's another
In this
possibility.
strong
2 years
lead.
in a row, the Olympian in Florida, and a lot of major
That wraps up.
could the Arnold Classic follow suit? That's what I'm really looking at this point because, again, usually by this time, we're a couple weeks away from the Arnold Classic. That's all that we're talking about in the
And as we
news.
dive into the second half, we'll find out in the next 2
But I
quarters.
did want to keep in mind the Arnold Classic might still happen, and that's still something we've got to be looking at as to when it's going to be. Because basically in bodybuilding, the 2 biggest shows are the Arnold and the Olympia. So when we talk about the Olympia, I don't want to forget about that other big show being the Arnold. And hopefully we get that as well. It's good that we're getting the Olympia. It's good that we know the dates, but I'm still waiting for that Arnold Classic information. I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well. A lot of you guys I know go to the Arnold every year just like I do. Now, next up in the news, let's talk about some powerlifting stories. So yesterday, or the last news video, we already talked about Julius Maddox at the Hybrid Showdown 3 in Miami, Florida. Let's talk about Dan Bell, who just set a new all-time world record total with wraps. This guy is an absolute monster. So Dan Bell totaled 1,182.5 kilograms, 2,607 pounds. The first man ever to achieve this total in the raw with wraps category. His top lifts, including the squat, 500 kilograms, 1,102 pounds, a bench press of 272.5 kilograms, 600 pounds, and a max deadlift of 410 kgs, 904.5 pounds. So I wanted to include Dan in a separate video from Julius because we've been talking about Julius for so long. I wanted him to be in his own video, and I wanted to talk about some of the other lifters in a separate video because I knew Julius would overshadow it if it was in the same video. But I mean, these numbers are just insane. I mean, 1,000+ pound squat, 1,102 pounds, a 600 pound bench press, a world class bench press, a nearly 1,000 pound deadlift, I mean, this guy isn't just specializing in one lift. That was the difference between him and Julius. This guy is a beast at all three, an absolute monster for the total of 2,607 pounds. So congratulations to Dan Bell, proving again that he is Dan the man. Now, this was a pretty impressive meet. Shout out to John Hack as well, who competed there. He had a very impressive bench press. Well, all his lifts are impressive, but his bench press to me particularly impressed me for his size. I believe he benched 572 there. He squatted 7-something. I want to say 727 is what he squatted. And I think his max deadlift on his third attempt was like 883. I don't think he got that final attempt. I think he ended up at 832 on his second attempt. I've always been very impressed by John because he competes in the 181 category. The dude's a beast. Bring it back to bodybuilding for a second for this presentation. Juji Mufu also competed at this meet. So to bring it back to bodybuilding for a second, Juji Mufu was prepping for the Arnold Classic. That was going to be his bodybuilding debut at the Arnold Classic Amateur. Obviously, the Arnold Classic is no longer in March, so he's back to powerlifting for the time being at least. And Juji Mufu's best three lifts being a 645-pound or 293 kg deadlift. And he also had a bench press of 418 pounds, 190 kgs. And then if you go over to the squat, he had a 672-pound, 305 kg squat. So awesome by Juji Mufu. Cool to see him competing in something. I know that we all wanted to see him compete at the Arnold Classic Amateur in March, but I guess it looks like we're all going to have to wait to see when the Arnold Classic does end up happening. So what is this about? Oh, Sierra Canyon.
Yeah. The Lakers got Clippers and you got Sierra Canyon High School.
Yeah. It's a circus-like atmosphere. Yeah. Every place they go to play.
They travel to Vegas to schedule the superstars on the team. The whole is about the game was sold out.
This team has logged almost 40,000 travel counts this season. Not only are they the children of celebrities, they are celebrities themselves. This is not a local story. This is a national story.
Right there. You're number one. Everybody's gonna come at
You came here for the cameras. You came here for the celebrity life. You came to the wrong place.
Everything is against us here, so it's like do or die.
Nobody want to hear my back. Find a way to get that done.
Compete or not compete, that is the question. It's like a fairy tale. We live a life that no other team has ever lived.
Dude, if I don't go to a good school, we're going to be forgotten about. No, they're not. Bro, y'all don't get how this works. You're private right now, high school. You get all the media.
I, for one, I think Juji Mufu is good wherever he goes. He's entertaining in powerlifting. He's entertaining in gymnastics, acrobatics, all the stuff that he does, arm wrestling. He would have been entertaining in bodybuilding, but it's cool to see Juji do just about anything. So shout out to Juji, also competing at that meet this past weekend. Now, bringing it full circle back to bodybuilding, Blessing Owodobu. So we got another physique update from Blessing here. So this time we get a front double bicep pose instead of just a front relax. So you get a little bit more of an idea of what Blessing is looking like at 10 weeks out or 11.5 weeks out from the New York Pro, 10 weeks out from the Indy Pro. He's posted on the CEO's Instagram page and not posted on Blessing's. You get a little bit better idea of what we talk about with Blessing as far as having a small waist and a good V taper, almost hitting kind of a vacuum pose. in this run goal by him. I think that's really going to be one of his stronger points.
Quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it's been a runaway. You know, LeBron James has been exceptional here, guys.
You just love his patience offensively in the first half. Waited until he got the looks he wanted.
You know, as a coach, you can preach good shot selection, but it's up to the player.
And you gotta love it when the fellas decide to put on a show.
And what a show that is for the fans and his teammates.
And for his coach, he's holding his breath partly because of the spectacle and partly because he doesn't want him to miss.
Walker for three. Up again. Ball with the rebound.
They've shown that power inside. Their rebounding effort has been sensational.
James. And he makes the layup. James has got 42 in the game.
Well, they're winning largely because of this guy's play. He has been sensational.
Now, the final story I'm going to talk about today, I'm going to switch it up a little bit and talk about
Now Walker.
Because
He's got 11.
AKA the real fitness community on Instagram.
Boy, Walker, his ability to expand his range and become consistent from three has been critical for this young man's career.
And since the halftime, their offense has just been on another level.
I gotta believe that's something the coach talked to them about at the half.
I'm speaking my mind for once in almost a decade. Hashtag reality of bodybuilding. Now also, this is interesting because she also announced
They have valued each possession.
after this year's Miss Olympia. So it makes you wonder if the
Richardson, the pass to Walker.
was an influence in that decision to go a different direction. So what she's saying here is true. Mental bodybuilding and
Makes it himself. It's stolen by Drummond.
there is a massive discrepancy in pay between all of them.
Third quarter basketball. We're about a minute and a half in.
I know he makes it look easy, but it takes incredible physical tools to pull that off.
Athleticism and explosion.
Unfair discrepancy. I've already said this before because I think the gap
Here's
between classic
Walker.
physique and mental
Back loose.
is extreme. I think it is
Maurice
unfair.
Rutherford, they've gone 4-4 in this third quarter. Perfect so far.
Bringing in as much
And it's James with the jam.
They barely needed other contributions. This league has been built through his offense.
The Mavericks have gone just 1 of 3 in the second half.
guys, as there are people vying to see who you're behind.
Takes a 13-footer. Walker shouts off.
I don't know if you can credit the defense for
So
that.
this is a debate I'm curious to hear you guys weigh in on.
And the call will be against Mo Wagner. That's his first foul of the game. Smarts checked in for Bridges. And now another look at that over one block defensive performance.
You guys think
It appears they're determined to add to the lead, not with more offense,
comment
but
down
with
below.
big
Now
time
there's
speed.
one more story
To the left
to
wing.
talk about in this video. So bodybuilding trading cards. It caught
Here's
my attention
Valentine.
that a bodybuilding
For his
photographer
first
and
pass,
video
he's
editor
still
for
in this one.
HD Muscle
Back to Drummond.
Daily
The kick out,
Media
the ball.
on Instagram is starting a bodybuilding trading card line. Now I think this is a fascinating idea because obviously most of the has their own
This is
trading
the
cards.
exact energy you'd like
So
to
she's
see.
going to start out with
You can
Antoine
be a
Bryant,
monster on the
Regan
offensive
Grimes,
glass.
Jennifer Dory, Ricky Moten Jr., and Chris Bumstead. And I know plans on expanding in the future after this initial
Now here's
release.
Richardson.
And I know some of the cards, like
Apply
Chris
some
Bumstead's
pressure
card,
with
will
that
be
full court
autographed. These
defense.
cards will be available for purchase. I'm not sure exactly when.
Ball
But I think
against
this is an
Walker.
extremely cool idea, and I wanted to showcase it here on the channel because honestly, I'm into trading cards. I'm sure a lot of
Pass
you
to
guys
Wagner.
are
They need this.
Pokemon channel.
Again, the miss
I
by
think
the
it would be
Mavericks.
very cool for
Maurice
bodybuilding
Rutherford,
to
they've
get
gone
some
6 of 7 and
That's
appearing
awesome.
confident in
Yeah.
attack.
I think a lot of people
He's one of the
and I think
most
honestly this is something
players
that
in the league.
huge. So if you
Wagner
guys are
was
interested in this,
significantly up
check
in
her out
almost
on
every
Big
statistical
Media
category
on
last
Instagram.
season.
It's not a
And
paid
he
promo.
did it with
I honestly just really like this idea, and hopefully it blows up and
Here's
or
Drummond.
continue to be on the card. So that's gonna wrap up the video. You guys
shot by Drummond!
I'll
I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to draw Drummond as my assignment inside. You body him up, tackle, it still has no effect on him.
Well, Grant, you look at Wagner's shooting percentages from last year. The difference is astounding.
Yeah, BA. And when the shot wasn't there, he was willing to also make the next pass. That shows maturity, and that's precisely why they practically doubled his minutes.
5 to shoot. Richardson, the pass to Walker.
I know he's got to be frustrated right now, but the team is fighting from behind. He's got to stay with it.
To the paint. Walker with the steal. And now the Mavs on the run. The finish. Oh!
Down below. They can't get lazy around Kemba Walker now. He's got fast hands. He'll take it from you and be gone.
And it's Ball on the drive. And a two-handed jam. He was gripping the rock on the way to the slam. No way he was going to get stripped on that one. And here's Walker. 14 points for him. Both teams will make substitutions. On defense, the visiting team. Since halftime, they've only allowed 5 points. And he'll draw the foul. He'll head to the line for 2. They'll pin that one on Marcus Smart. And Grant, you were part of one of the most legendary eras in Duke basketball. Now, when you reflect on that time, what stands out, man?
Well, B.A., those were great times indeed. And a few things I think stick out. First of all, it was when we really made Duke basketball what it is today. Gave us the foundation of this long-term success. Also, of course, too, the bonds, the brotherhood, the experience, the ups and the downs that we went through collectively. All of that together are the things that I like to look back on and really reflect upon during those years.
Kaminsky, he's checked in for the Mavericks. Hardaway comes in for Richardson.
I'll tell you, this has not been his game, and he's making it worse with shot selection like that.
And it's James with the jam.
You know, they continue to feed him the ball, and he keeps delivering. The leading scorer in this one.
Dallas has gone only 1 of 4 from three-point land in the third quarter. Walker's shot is off.
This has not been his best quarter.
And you know what? They keep calling his number, and they're simply trying to get him out of this funk.
Their system is running smoothly, and the gap on the scoreboard is widening.
You do like that the offense is humming along. They're putting in the effort to distance themselves.
And Dante DiVincenzo is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. Bridges, he's checked in for the Mavericks. A minute 22 left in the third. Pass to Walker. Outside Hardaway. Back to Walker. Shot clock at 6. Kicks it out to Hardaway. Dallas, no good that time either. And for East Rutherford, they're shooting 76%. You don't see this often. James goes in. And James with the jam.
The strength of LeBron is something that is never going to go away, and it will always allow him to finish plays like that.
And the free throw, no good. The Mavericks shooting poorly, just 29% from the floor in this game. It's stolen by James. Driving inside, and slam dunk by James.
Everything is dropping for them. Just a terrific third period run.
And I think it's been all about their offensive efficiency, shooting the lights out in this quarter.
And he hits it and gets hacked. A 3-point chance here if he can convert.
Well, 2 things there, guys. Tim Hardaway Jr., the power, the concentration, refuses to be stopped when he wants to score.
And here's the thing, B.A. When you play with a great offensive catalyst like Luka Doncic, it can transform your game. I mean, in New York, Hardaway had to spend too much time creating for himself. That's not his game. Last year in Dallas, all he had to do was spot up, and the ball would be right there.
Ball's gone 1 for 2 from deep. Kaminsky outside. Down low. DiVincenzo with the steal.
Put that one-man show on Broadway.
That's one way to go with the alley-oop. Walker against Ball. Looking to end this cold spell. And the layup by Walker. Walker's got 5 points now this quarter.
Kemba Walker's handle has always been special, and it's always created shot opportunities just like that.
It's good, and he drew contact contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play opportunity. He got it up in time, but it would not fall for him. And as we conclude the third, pretty much a blowout here. It's been a one-sided affair. Delivering the blowout, and we'll return shortly. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
This is the definition of team chemistry. I love to see this kind of communication and connection between teammates leading to the perfect pass.
Nothing better than chemistry, right? Working together to create a bucket.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that, to this point, has not been an evenly fought contest. The Mavericks shooting at 32% from the floor. Not good. Ball is out there with Denzel Valentine. Then there's James Johnson. Then there's LeBron James. Inside. Here's Shaman. Shot clock at 5. Pass to Simons. And a miss there on the triple. And for East Rutherford, they're shooting a sensational 78% from the field in this game. Oh, got that bucket in no time at all. Ball's got 11 points here in the second half.
The assist numbers certainly stand out. They've really emphasized ball movement here today.
Here's Simons. Quick by Kaminsky. Takes a three. And it's Simons missing.
I know he wants to answer the three that was just made on the other end, but he can't let that affect his judgment. He's got to find the best shot possible.
And they're really rolling right now. That lead keeps getting bigger and bigger.
And one of the things that's helped that is they're getting it done on both ends. Terrific focus on offense, and they're locked in defensively.
Dallas has gone 0 for 2 from outside here in the fourth quarter. Here's Shaman. Misses the layup. James, right side. And out of bounds, the Mavericks will take it. And the Mavericks making a change here. Lyles checked in. About a minute and a half into the fourth now. The Mavericks have gone 0 for 3 in this fourth. Not good. To the right side. Here's Shaman. And he goes in for the dunk.
Just such a terrific dunker.
Man, born to fly, that's for sure. To the wing on the left. Valentine. From outside, off the mark. The Mavericks have gone 1 of 4 since the fourth quarter began. It's good. Shaman's gotten 4 this quarter.
Where's the rim protection? That's just too easy for him.
Pritchard gets it to go.
And trust me, when the D's slow to react, he'll be the first guy to make them pay.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly, and capitalizing.
Well, we've heard discussions around the league. They may be shortening seasons, Greg, but how about shortening games? You know, we saw that in the bubble in the exhibition games where they went to 10-minute quarters.
Whoa, slow down here. Look, VA, I am all about shortening the season. The season is definitely very long and taxing on players. And I'm all about evolving and being innovative as our game continues to grow. But shortening games, no. 48 minutes, you must keep it there. I'm a firm believer that you must keep the games at 48 minutes.
Rejected by James.
He was tracking that shot the whole way. No chance LeBron was letting that get to the rim. Not everyone has the green light to take that three in transition, but he does, especially with the defense already set up protecting the paint.
For Dallas, they've gone 2 for 7 from the field here in the fourth. Not great. Pass to Simons. Ooh, nothing falling for them right now.
Not a single shot has gone down this period. It is the very definition of ice cold. I'll tell you, even though he's not playing his best basketball, the team has played well and picked it up. I love it.
To the inside. Here's Luawu Cabarro. He's checked by Plumlee. And Luawu Cabarro gets it to go.
Simple. The closer you are to the hoop, the better your chance to score.
Here's James. And it's James with the jam.
You know, I like that recognition. He knows he's in rhythm, knows this is the time to get his team some punch.
For Dallas, they've gotten just 3 of 9 shots to go in, struggling this fourth quarter. Pass to Luawu Cabarro. This one's for 3. Drummond grabs the miss. Drummond's got the glass covered here tonight. That's 11 boards for him. And it's James with the jam.
Oh, nice feed. On time and on target.
Dallas has got nothing to fall from outside the arc here in the fourth. 0 for 4. Here's Simons. Well, in last season, the first time we saw coaches' challenges that added a layer of replay review. Now, the coaches generally lose their challenges, but Doris, do you think it was a success?
Well, regardless, BA, I think this is something that is here to stay. And not only that, the case was made that if the challenge is successful, a team should retain their right to challenge later in the game. I think this is a good idea. That is something I would like to see happen.
For East Rutherford, they've gotten 8 of 10 attempts in. Very productive here in the fourth. Pass to Plumlee. James with the ball. And slams dunk by James.
Great job on the back end of the play.
Yep, finished with both hands, making sure of it. They're having very little success right now.
And they really could take a different approach, right? Find something that works.
Here's Shaman. The 3 ball. Good work defensively by DiVincenzo. The kick out to Ball. Pass to DiVincenzo. There's a minute 26 left to play in the fourth quarter of this one. James, outside. Kaminsky pulls it in. Kaminsky's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Luawu Cabarro. Here's Lyles. Pass to Sharon. Here's Simons. From deep. No good on the shot. James, outside. Driving to the basket. Here's DiVincenzo. The shot's good on the assist by James.
And they knew it wasn't going to be easy to win on the road, but they controlled the pace on this one.
And sometimes when everyone's rooting against you, it seems to bring the unit closer together. It certainly did tonight.
Pass to Lyles. Here's Simons. Trying to get back on track. And it's Lyles missing. Now, here's James. Defense is right there.
And it's James with the jam. Gotta give them respect. They're doing everything they can to close this out.
Well, just terrific teamwork. Each guy doing his part. You love what you're seeing from them tonight.
Here's Simons.
And so it's a victory for the road team in this one. Boy, this crowd has to be shocked by the way their team was dismantled.
Shocked and surprised. It doesn't matter what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to just waltz in and cruise to the type of victory like we saw tonight.
And now let's check in with Allie LaForce with the player of the game. Allie.
LeBron, this was an outstanding win. What kind of message did you send tonight?
I'm trying to send a message.
Thanks, Allie. Great interview once again. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Allie LaForce, Grant Hill, and Doris Burke, I'm Brian Anderson saying thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
on, you guys? Nick here with Nick's Strength and Power. So in this video, I want to talk about bodybuilders that did not live up to their hype. Now, that's not intended to be a negative connotation. This is bodybuilders that received a tremendous amount of hype, a tremendous amount of discussion about where these bodybuilders would go, and the potential these bodybuilders had. And then eventually, these guys just disappeared. And over the years in bodybuilding, we've seen many examples of this, where a guy comes in, he seems larger than life. Everybody's talking about this guy's going to be the next Mr. Olympia, how crazy this guy looks, the genetics this guy has, the potential this guy has. Then they'll do a couple shows, maybe not place very well, maybe have an injury, and for whatever reason, suddenly just disappear and stop competing. So in this video, I want to count down my top 5 picks. For example, of guys that had a tremendous push, tremendous amount of hype, and either disappeared from competing, chose to stop competing, got injured, or whatever, and for whatever reason did not end up living up to his tremendous potential and his tremendous hype that they had behind them. So, coming in at number 5, I want to start with Zach King Khan. Now, some of my younger viewers might not remember Zach Khan, and that was evident to me when I did an Instagram poll asking you guys to give me examples of who you guys thought was bodybuilding. Not a single person on that Instagram poll mentioned Zach Khan, which I thought was interesting because when I was getting into bodybuilding, getting into working out in like 2008, 2009 era, Zach Khan had pictures in all the magazines. He was in these underground supplement advertisements, looking completely ridiculous, like freaky ridiculous pictures. Really, he was one of the guys that when people saw these pictures, they were talking about Zach Khan as like this underground thing, this unrealized potential, this young guy who do some damage. This is like 2008 to 2010. So Zach had a ton of women. If you look back at some of the pictures of Zach when he was at his biggest, even some of the off-season guest posted photos, I mean, you can really tell how freaky this guy was. It wasn't just size. He had that wow factor to his physique, that just crazy look, roundness and fullness, and of course, just being big as shit. He was a pretty big dude. And this was back really kind of before YouTube was big. Everyone was really talking about Zach on the forum for magazines, like I said, so he was kind of maybe before the era of some of the teenage kids. Now, so that might be fine. I asked about bodybuilding, unrealized potential. I was actually talking to some of my friends last night. We've got a group chat on Instagram. And we were actually talking about Zach Khan, because back in the day, when we first started going to the Arnold Classic together, me and his friends, one of the first people that my buddy wanted to meet at one of these expos, the first bodybuilder that he knew about because of the magazines and stuff, was Zach Khan. So that's how the conversation of this video really got started. We were talking about that incident back at the Arnold Classic a couple of years ago. My buddy asked how the story wanted to meet Zach Khan. He asked him for a picture. Essentially, Zach said no. From that point forward, my buddy absolutely hated the guy. So we were talking about that, but then I was like, yeah, he might have been addicted or whatever, but you remember how huge that guy was. I mean, you remember what he looked like back in his prime. That's what I wanted to talk about here, is like this was back in like 2010-ish, which is actually right around where Zach was going to make his pro debut. He was training for his pro debut in 2010, so he wasn't even a pro yet when he was in all these magazines. And that's, I really think that's why so many people were talking about it, because they didn't know how he was going to look compared to other pros. They saw these crazy pictures of him kind of getting ready to become a pro. And in 2010, when he was prepping to become a pro, he destroyed his knees like a hack squatting session. And after that, his legs were really never the same. And 3 years later, after recovering from this injury, he did end up making his pro debut at the Dallas Road Super Show, where he took 7th. And he didn't really look anything like how he was looking in the pictures that we've seen him. He was definitely in much downside. And then from that point forward, he really taking another 2 years off, and then coming in 2015, doing a relatively small show called Pro, where he placed 16th there. Then also in 2015, he ended up doing the Arnold Classic Europe, placing 15th there, and then we never saw Zach Khan on the bodybuilding stage ever again. So Zach Khan is really what inspired this video, because if you were around and you followed bodybuilding back then, you were reading magazines, everybody remembers this monster, Zach Cohn. He had a crazy, even though he wasn't pro or whatever. Everyone remembers those pictures of Zach Cohn back in bodybuilding. He was a guy that had all this expectation. Did 3 pro shows, didn't do very well at all, never saw him again. Now, next on the list, coming in at number 4, we have bodybuilder. I'm sure everyone that's watching this video knows who he is. And that is Kai Green. Now, Kai Green represents a very different aspect of unrealized potential and hype. Now, unlike Zach Cohn, Kai Green was a very successful pro bodybuilder. Kai Green took 2nd place at the Olympia multiple times. Kai Green was a top Olympian multiple times. Kai Green won the Arnold Classic multiple times. So unlike Zach Cohn, Kai Green wasn't a guy that people expected to do well as a pro and didn't do well. But I did want to put Kai Green on this list because of the hype for Kai Green that has been so high ever since he stopped competing at the Olympia back in 2014. And he's really done nothing about that hype. And I think that's definitely worthy of putting on this list because the main hype around Kai Green is people calling him the one-crown Mr. Olympia. They've been calling him that for the past 5 years that he hasn't been competing at the Olympia. And as we all know, the main discussion about Kai Green every single year is, well, if Kai did the Olympia, what Kai would have done it, he would have won. But Kai didn't do it. Kai hasn't done it for 5 years, and I don't think Kai is ever going to do it again. I think the conversation and the hype about Kai Green is still going to continue probably for years to come, even if Kai doesn't come back. That's why I wanted to put Kai on this list because I think the hype for Kai is really higher than probably any other bodybuilder. The level of celebrity that Kai has and the number of followers that Kai has, the level of interest that Kai has created this hype around him that is unlike anything we've ever seen from any other bodybuilder. And while, like I said, he's done very, very well as a pro, this hype that he's on from Mr. Olympia, I think is one of the biggest hype things in bodybuilding. And that's another thing, my buddies and I were actually talking about in this group chat yesterday. The word came up, overrated bodybuilders. Kai's name came up. We were talking about, well, was Kai not only overhyped, but was he overrated? We were comparing some of those Kai and Phil, comparing the thickness and the look of Phil's chest and shoulders and triceps compared to Kai's. And it was really like a night and day difference. And more like does Kai actually beat Phil? Where is this argument that Kai should have beat Phil coming from? Phil is really more complete than Kai in most areas, and was more complete than Kai when they were going head to head. And the main criticism of Phil is midsection. Was the main criticism of Kai Green before it was a criticism of Phil. So it's not like Kai was beating Phil by having a super tight midsection. Because Kai was criticized for this before Phil ever was. And I think it comes down to Kai just simply having that wow factor. It wasn't like a tangible thing, or it wasn't a tangible pose that Kai beat Phil. It was just that Kai's physique was in fact so freaky, and he had just such unique qualities to his physique that people wanted to see that uniqueness be encapsulated as Mr. Olympia. Now, coming in the 3rd place spot on this list, I want to throw it back a little bit to kind of more the golden era bodybuilding, but more so the 80s. Specifically Matt Mendenhall. Now, a lot of the bodybuilders on this list are going to be more modern era bodybuilders, more bodybuilders that competed in the 2000s. But I think of bodybuilders that had a lot of hype, a lot of unrealized potential, Matt Mendenhall really is at the top of the list. Now, while a lot of the guys on this list are going to be known for being just crazy big guys, and that's why they had the hype behind them because they were so big, Matt Mendenhall, his nickname back in the 80s, was Mr. Genetics. Now, back in the 80s, even as a very young bodybuilder, many people would describe Matt's physique as a nearly perfect physique. Just the flow that he had, the size that he had, the structure that he had, everything about him, people just saw it as being this perfect embodiment of what a bodybuilder was in the 80s. And many people thought that Matt was going to be, or was next in line to be, Mr. Olympia. In fact, we talked about how young he was and how good he looked at a young age. Matt was just 22 years old when he took 2nd place by 1 point behind future 8-time Mr. Olympia Lee Haney. And Matt would actually end up going for that pro card think roughly 7 times at the PC Nationals. On a couple occasions, actually taking second and almost getting that pro card. But on most of the occasions, whether it was an unfortunate illness, an accident, an injury, there were all kinds of things that set Matt back over the course of his career that never allowed him to get that pro card, never allowed him to win those nationals. And I've also heard rumors that when he was younger and competing at some of these earlier NPC nationals, Matt liked to party and he lived kind of that party lifestyle combined with bodybuilding. And a lot of people speculate maybe that's the reason that Matt didn't do as well as he should have, place as high as he could have in some of these competitions, because his genetics really carried him in this competition. He didn't really take it that seriously. Just kind of live this party lifestyle. So I do believe on any bodybuilding list, when you're talking about unrealized potential, you always have to mention. Now, coming in number 2, and I'm sure a lot of you guys expected this to be number 1, so stay tuned for number 1. I'm curious who that is. Coming in at number 2, I would actually pick Big Ramy. Now, the reason for that is because Big Ramy isn't officially done yet. We don't officially know that he hasn't lived up to the hype, but it seems to be going that route. Ever since Big Ramy hit the scene back in 2013, for the past 6 years, everybody has been saying Big Ramy is the next Mr. Olympia. Big Ramy is the next big thing in bodybuilding. He's the biggest, he's the greatest, he's the best of all time. We've never seen anything like Big Ramy. But year after year, Big Ramy has continued to not live up to those expectations. And the closest he ever got was that 2017 Mr. Olympia where he took second to Philip. And even then, I don't think it